Hi everyone, very good morning and good evening. Okay, guys, so let's start the session. Sorry for the delay. Now, okay, so in the previous session, so what we have done, so we discussed about how the pricing model is going to work, right? So for example here, so when it is coming to, so we saw that how the pricing model is going to work, and then so we saw that how many virtual warehouses it will be there, right? Now if you observe what we have done, we have created three different virtual warehouses, right? So for example, all the developers is going to use this particular virtual warehouse and this particular size, and all the testers is going to utilize this virtual warehouse. All the data loading activities we will assign this virtual warehouse. Now individually you can able to track the things, right? And at the same time here, when you observe the account and see this one credit usage, you can able to see each and every virtual warehouse, it is calculating separately, right? This is nothing for computation charges, how much the computation charges it is going to be utilized. Now all together account level, see this one, this is credit usage. All together this is 5.79 if you observe here. And then individual, if you observe here, load, so this is 3.02 for a dev, this is 2.02 for the test, this is 0.75, right? So individually we have this virtual warehouse. Now here, when it is coming to resource monitoring, right, we are going to control and then we are going to take a action. It will send notification as well as it will perform some action based on resource monitoring activity. It's very simple. It's nothing but I will give an example here. For example, you have a credit card. You have credit card limit of 1000. Let's assume that. When you have a credit card limit of 1000, now you have so your family members also require the credit card. What you have done is the same credit card you have taken add-on cards. For example, CC1, you have given it to your sister, and then you have given credit limit of, so you have control the credit limit of so $300, and then CC2, let's assume that for your brother, so this is 200, but credit card number is same. Total your credit card amount limit is 1000, and when it is coming to this CC1 add-on card, you have set up the limit of 300. So here this add-on card, you have set up a limit of 200, right? And whenever you are utilizing the credit cards, whenever any particular card, whenever you are utilizing, you will get a notification, right? Nothing but message. You will get a notification that you are going to, so you have utilized this particular amount, right? And at the same time, for example, your credit limit is $1000. You have utilized nearly 90% or 95% of your credit availability. Then what you will get? You will get again notification like, so you have utilized 90% of your credit limit. You have utilized nearly your 100% of your credit limit. If you wanted to still continue utilizing, then add some more funds into your credit card, or you can clear your credit card amount, right? And if you try to utilize more than your credit limit, for example, already you have utilized $1000, and then you are trying to utilize more than 1000, then what it will get? It will be declined, right? Nothing but it is going to perform an action called your credit limit will not be approved, your transaction is going to decline, right? It is going to be declined. Before that it is going to be approved, right? If within the credit limit it will approve, after the credit limit reaches, it is going to decline. When you will get again your credit limit, once you like uh, so paid that bill amount, right? One is billing cycle. Billing cycle so once it generated a billing cycle, then you have to pay that particular amount. After that your credit limit will be reset, it will be reset to your same credit. It will be monthly basis. Reset is here monthly basis, right? The same way here also, when you are utilizing the virtual warehouses, you can consider this as a account level. These things you can consider this as a virtual warehouse level. And here also we have actions like notification, and then you have action like suspend and suspend immediate. There is a difference. Suspend and suspend immediate. Suspend and notify, suspend immediate and notify. It will suspend that virtual warehouse and it will send a notification. It will suspend that virtual warehouse. Here also again it will send a notification, but there is a difference. We will discuss that. Now, if you, for example, if you come to this like virtual warehouses, let's come here to pricing model. If you observe, sorry, resource monitoring concept, just observe this one. See this one. So what you have observed. So here we have 6 virtual warehouses. How many we have? Sorry, 5 virtual warehouses we have here. All together virtual warehouses, we will call it as a account. All these things available in within one account, nothing but your this one. This is your account, right? And individually when it is coming to individual virtual warehouses, right? Individual virtual warehouses. These are individual virtual warehouses. All together, this is a account. And then this is individual virtual warehouses. Now, when it is coming to this account level also, we can set up a credit limit. This one, what we have done, this is complete account level. Complete account level is 1000 credit limit. Individually, warehouse level, we are setting up a credit limit of 300 and 200. It means, so this person cannot able to utilize more than 300. This person cannot able to utilize more than 200, right? But this person can able to utilize so 1000, right? But so here, if you observe the same thing, see this one. So virtual warehouses, you have resource monitor. We have resource monitor here. See this one. All together virtual warehouses. When you are creating a resource monitor, your credit limit is 5000. Let's take it as an example. So this is for a account level. Set for the account level is 5000. It means all together accumulation, we cannot reach, we cannot go beyond 5000. It can be, you can set this credit limit monthly basis or weekly basis also. That is up to us. Now, account level, we have given this. Individual virtual warehouse level, when it is coming to, see this one, we can assign some of the resource monitor for individual virtual warehouse level. When, if you observe here, see this is resource monitoring, right? So monitoring this particular monitor, it is keep on watching how much the credit you are utilizing. When it reaches greater than 5000, it will stop utilizing the virtual warehouses, all the virtual warehouses. And when it is coming to virtual warehouse 3, see this one, if you observe resource monitor here, credit limit we have given as 1000. It should not go beyond 1000. This one, both together, warehouse 4 and then warehouse 5, both together, we assigned a resource monitor, one resource monitor, and this credit limit is 2500. Here, there is a concept of like when it is coming to this, both resource, so both virtual warehouses can be assigned to single monitor. It can be assigned to single monitor. But if you try to assign two resource monitors to single virtual warehouse, then there is no meaning. It will not allow you. It will overwrite. It means, for example, we have a resource monitor 2 and then we have a resource monitor 3. Both, if it is linked to virtual warehouse 3, then unnecessarily single virtual warehouse monitoring by two resource monitors. There is no utilization, right? There is no need of monitoring by two resource monitors for single virtual warehouse, right? Already one is monitoring, then why we need another one, right? So that is so not so valid scenario. We will see that practically also, right? So now let's, for example, let's assume that this example, so we kept one CC camera, okay, so outside the gate, so entry, so one cam is available already in the same place. If you are like arranging one more like CC cam, then there is no utilization, right? So already one is monitoring, then why we need the same place, the so same purpose, why we need another one? So it is not a valid one, right? So this particular thing, so when it is coming to the right, so this particular resource monitors, always we are going to set up by using so account admin role in accounts before creating a resource monitor, right? We are going to resource monitor here, create resource monitor in this particular resource monitor option, this one, right? Before creating a resource monitor, always we need to remember one thing, it should have enable notification services. So without that, if you try to create a resource monitor, observe this, get notified when warehouse reach your action threshold by turning on notification in your account preferences. It is giving like a suggestion to please enable your notification, then only so your notifications will so come, right? It means here if you observe, here we have a notification option. Click on the notification option and click on the settings. This is the first step what you need to do when you are creating resource monitor. Click on the settings, and here if you observe, see this one. So here, so this is a notification option here. And when you click on web, if you click on web, and then there is a two option. One is web, another one is email. Another one is email. So if you click on web, it will give you pop-up window in this particular option, in this particular user interface. It will display pop-up window, your credit limit is reached. And if you select email, it will send a email to our, to like when we created the email so account, right? We have which account you have, which email ID you have given for that particular account, it will send a email. If you observe here, see this one, this is the email ID which when I configured this, I have given this one, right? And then come to the notification. If you want a both web and email, then you can select all. Then it will, as well as web also, it will display the notification service, and at the same time email also it will send a notification service, right? Both the things will be done. Okay, this is fine. So now one thing, if you observe here, this notification is enabled now. We have given the notification. Now let's come to see this changes saved. It is telling that changes saved. Now let's come to the account to create a resource monitor. See this option. What is here? Create resource monitor. Click on this, and here resource monitor, I will go to create for account level first. Now, when you created this trial account, what is the credit limit we have got? So credit limit we got around $400 credit limit. $400 credit limit. And if you observe here, monitor level, this is account level or warehouse level. This is $400 is credit limit for our account level, right? Complete account. And schedule, when we need to monitor this particular credit limit. So immediately, or we wanted to monitor from next week, or you wanted to monitor from next month. You can see by default, it will be immediate. See this one, start immediate, and then reset monthly, weekly, daily we have, and yearly, right? So we have a different options. By default, it will be monthly only and ends never. So if you wanted to start it later, you can select later and then you can specify the time here. You can specify the time. Then from that particular time, it is going to start monitoring your this virtual warehouse. Let it be immediate. And if you want reset, every weekly you want to reset your credit limit, you can click on weekly. Every monthly you wanted to reset your credit limit, we can click on monthly. So okay, so this one so is a default settings, let it be. And coming to see this one, action and notification. See this, notify when 60% of credit is utilized. This is always we need to mention based on the percentage. We should not give numbers. For example, we have a credit limit of 400. We should not give 200 credit limit. It is always, it will be in a percentage. So this percentage, 60% once it is reached, we are telling that I need to get a notification. And this one, suspend immediate and notify. Suspend immediate and notify. See this one, so credit is used. Suspend immediate and notify, always it will be so 90, so 5, it can be 90, in between 90 to 95. This one we will come to the difference. This one is, let's give 80. See this, why we have two things. This is suspend and notify. What it will do is, when it reaches 80% of our credit limit, it is going to, see this one, allow running query to complete. It will allow your running query to complete before suspending the virtual warehouse. Sorry. What it means? So when the query is running during the runtime, it reached 80% of the credit limit. What it will do is, it will allow us to finish that particular query to run. After that, finishing of that particular query, it will suspend that particular virtual warehouse. And we have another concept, suspend immediate and notify. See this one, what is this? 95% we have given. Suspend immediate and notify, what it will do is, see this, it will abort all the running queries. What it is telling, it is going to abort running queries and suspend that particular virtual warehouse immediately. Whatever the queries, if it is running also, it is going to abort that, it is going to kill that particular query. It will not allow you to continue. This is one of the certification question, so you can remember this. Suspend immediate, it will stop running query, it will kill that running query, and then so it will send a notification. This suspend and notify, it is going to allow the running query to complete, then it will send a notification, right? That is the difference here. You can add n number of notifications here. For example, 60% we send a notification. The same way, I need another alert for 75% of the utilization. We can create it like n number of notifications we can able to create. Now, this is for a account level. This is for account level what we are giving. Now let's create it. See this one, resource monitor is created. When you created onwards, it will start immediately monitoring that particular virtual warehouse, and then the total credit quota, and then what is the remaining, and then what we have utilized, and then frequency, and then start, and then so start time, and then notify, suspend immediate, and then we have the different options, right? Created on, and then so on. So all these options which is available here. Clear? Now let's come to so another one. So let's create another like a monitor. Click on create, and then resource monitor for dev. Okay, and then I will give, for example, 200. And monitor level, this should be virtual warehouse level. This should be virtual warehouse. And we have warehouse. Say this one, which particular warehouse you wanted to. I am going to select dev virtual warehouse, dev virtual warehouse. And coming to schedule, you can schedule this immediate. You can schedule this immediate. And action and notify, suspend and notify. See this one. So we have like so 80, will give 80, and then here we'll give 90, and then notification we can give around 65. We have created, this is for one virtual warehouse level. If you wanted to create both the virtual warehouses, so you can able to create. This is for one virtual warehouse. Again, let's observe both the virtual warehouses. If you try to create resource monitor, so load, I will give for load, data loading. Now if you observe, credit quota will give 150, and then warehouse level, warehouses, we will select load and then test. Both the virtual warehouses we have selected, and let it be here suspend for 80, and then suspend immediate for 95, and then notify for 75. We created another virtual warehouse, right? Now, one more thing here, if you observe, uh, try to create one more monitor already with existing virtual warehouses. See this one here, what you observe, account level, there is no virtual warehouse because it is complete for all virtual warehouses. Development, so this is related to dev virtual warehouse. When it is coming to the data loading, see this one, load virtual warehouse, test virtual warehouse. Both virtual warehouses assigned to this particular single resource monitor. Now, if you try to create another monitor, already it is monitoring by this test virtual warehouse, monitoring by resource monitor load. If I try to create separate monitor for this test virtual warehouse, what is going to be happen? Let's observe this one. We will try to create another one, resource monitor for test, for the testing. So credit quota is 50, we have given warehouse level. See this one, the test, already it is showing here, it is monitoring by, it is monitoring by, this is also monitoring by, right? And if you try to select this, if you try to select this one, test virtual warehouse, which one we have selected test virtual warehouse. When I click outside, see this one, what it is telling, warehouse that is already monitored will be reassigned. It is clearly telling that warehouse, so which is already monitoring, that is going to be reassigned. Reassigned, it means previously where it is monitoring the load, right? Resource monitor load. Now what it will do? It is going to reassign to this particular monitor. That is the meaning of this. Now let's observe this. So let's come to, so this one,
Can
suspend,
you this once again, please?
suspend not, yes, I'll repeat. Here, so what will happen is when it is coming to this one, warehouse test, right? This is a test. So if you observe this one, test virtual warehouse. If I deselect that, so previously resource monitor load, it is monitoring test virtual warehouse and load virtual warehouse, both assigned to single resource monitor. Now here I am, what we are trying to do is we are trying to assign test virtual warehouse separately to resource monitor test. If I come to warehouses, see this one, this is already monitoring by resource monitor load. This test virtual warehouse is monitoring by resource monitor load. But if you try to assign this test warehouse to resource monitor test, which it is already assigned already, it will be reassigned to the newest one. This is the new one. See this one, warehouse that is already monitoring will be reassigned. It is going to reassign to this one. It will not. So give that. Now see this one. When I create, what happened now? Previously here you can able to see in this particular resource monitor load. So test and then load both is available. Now this test is reassigned to this resource monitor test, right? So because so again, so we wanted to monitor separately. If you like monitoring both here and here both, then there is no meaning of that, right? That's why if you create another one here, for example, data load activity, if you create new resource monitor, so then already if it is assigned, so with the one virtual warehouse, it is going to be reassigned. It is going to be reassigned. So you can able to see like what is the credit you have allocated, and then what is the credit you have utilized, what is the remaining credit limit.
We
Now
can edit
let's
in between, right? We can edit the limits, right?
we can do that. We can do that. I will show you. See this one. If you come to account and then usage, you can able to see the usage here. After some time you can able to see resource monitor also. You can able to see some of the like credit quota, how much percentage it has been utilized, and then so still so what you are having. If you wanted to edit, right, what you can do is click on that, and then see this one. We have an option called edit here, right? Click on the edit, and then when you click on the edit, so for example here I wanted to like increase this credit limit to 600, right? So here accept changes, that's it. So then it will be monitored, so it will be reassigned. And then if you want to change the frequency, here it is monthly. If you wanted to change it to weekly, then that is also possible. So what will happen once you assign this resource monitor, automatically it is going to keep on watching the like this particular account. So virtual warehouses, whatever the virtual warehouses it is available here, it will keep on watching that virtual warehouse utilization, and it is going to send a alert in a pop-up here, as well as it will send it in a email. This is one of the things. So how we can able to control the credit limits. We have two options. One is notify, another one is action. Action perform, what it will do, it is going to use suspend and notify. Another one is suspend and notify. These are the two options what it will perform. This is about how we can able to create a resource monitors. The same thing, so it is available here. You can, so what we have done, so we have done this by using these options, right? User interface options. If you wanted to do it by the queries also, you can able to see. So by creating the queries, by using the queries also, you can able to do the same thing. Same option, create or replace resource monitor. So you are going to trigger. Trigger means nothing but 50 percentage do notify, it will send a notification. So on, so suspend percentage do suspend. So this is the way how we can able to create it. And so see this one, suspend and notify frequency is nothing but the monthly, and then when it has to start immediately, right? So what it has to do, so if it is reached 100%, then what it has to do, suspend, right? Suspend immediately. If you wanted to perform, you are going to give suspend immediately. And so if you wanted to notify, just you will send a so notify, you will give a notify option. So that's it. So we can able to create a resource monitors, right? This is the option how we can so perform. If you wanted to increase the resource monitor by using the queries, alter resource monitor, set credit quota to, you can increase it to the different resource monitor, right? This is the option. So how we can able to perform by using queries. If you wanted to do it by using like a user interface options, you can do it. Or if you wanted to do it by queries also, we can able to perform it. Both are same only. There is no difference. So now, so next thing, so what we will like do is, so when it is coming to partitioning. Okay. So before jumping into that, I will give you just a brief idea about that. So if you observe, Here in Snowflake, we don't have a concept of partitioning, guys. Like in traditional databases, we will have concept of indexes, right? And then we can able to create a partitions. But here we don't, as a human, so as a with we don't have any control on partitions. Manually we are not going to do anything here. If you observe, for example, let me connect it to the virtual warehouse, sorry, the database, the Snowflake sample database here, connected to this sample database, and I will run one query here. Let's observe this. So, but only the thing is here when you are working with this, right? So we don't have any control on creating or from this particular table, where let's take ship date. Let me check the data here. Preview data. Preview data, what it will give? It will give first 100 records, right? Where I will take ship date. Ship date equal to, I'm going to assign to this one. Now, before running, let's observe this. Here, how much data it is available? Around 160 GB data. See this one, 160 GB data is available. Now, when we are going to run this, observe what is going to be happen. We are running this one. It is going to display how much time it has displayed. It's 5.07 seconds, right? 5.07 seconds it has displayed this particular data. How come it is very fast? Generally, if you wanted to fetch the data from 160 GB, it is going to take 20 minutes or 30 minutes. But here what happened? Based on the condition, it has picked exactly this particular data within less than 5 seconds, right? How come it is possible? If you go to option query ID, you can go into the profile, you can able to see one thing here. See this one, partitions. See this, how many total number of partitions we are having here? 10,336 partitions. And in the total partitions, how many number of partitions it scanned? Only 5 partitions it is scanned. Only 5 partitions. It means in the back end, what happened is, instead of scanning these 10,336 partitions, nothing but complete table scan, what it has done, Snowflake understand exactly whatever the fetching data, whatever the data we are fetching, we are trying to fetch, that is available in only these 5 partitions. Instead of scanning these many number of partitions, it has picked exact partitions and it has given the result. But did we created any partitions here? No, we didn't created any partitions. Did we tell that to pick any partition from this particular portion exactly? Only this particular 5 partitions anywhere in the query? No, we didn't given anything like that. Just we have given a where condition, that's it. But how come the Snowflake understand that exactly it has to go to that specific partitions and then it has to pick that information? There is a concept of partitioning concept. When the data is storing in Snowflake, it is going to store in the form of partitions. How the partitions is going to be created in the backend, there is we don't have anything to see practically here, because you will not have any control on this creating partitions. So but we need to understand theoretically how the partitions will be created, how the things is going to work, and how these partitions are immutable, and whenever you are doing some insert, updates and deletes, how the partitions is going to be reflected, and all these things we will see in the next session. So based on this only, we don't have any concept of indexes. Each and every partition, there is a concept of range of values. We will call it as a metadata range of values. So based on that, it is going to pick that information. Anyway, we will see that in the next session, guys. It is going to take some time. We will see that there is a concept of partitions and then clustering. So both we will try to cover that. Clustering is nothing but, if you observe, see this one, clustered by option. In this particular table, if you observe what you observed here, cluster by, we have a cluster by option for this, right? Based on this cluster by implementation, it is going to pick that particular thing, this one, based on cluster by implementation, right? We will see that what it means by the cluster by, how to create the cluster by, based on which column we need to create, and then what is the purpose of that. To improve performance in Snowflake, only one thing in our hand is creating a cluster by column. That too, it is not suggested everywhere. Only the table, if it contains more than 6 terabyte of the data or 4 terabyte of the data, then only we will create cluster by. And at the same time, if you are frequently utilizing the table, then only we will think about cluster by, otherwise it is not required. Other than that, we won't do anything here to increase the performance. Automatically Snowflake is going to take care. We never worry about the performance issue here. We are not going to never worry about our space issue. Always it will be taken care by the Snowflake itself. Okay, so let's come to the questions here. For resource monitoring, Snowflake charge amount. No, for resource monitoring, Snowflake will not charge any amount, Kiran.
Okay.
It is a future which it has given. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, Dinesh.
Yes.
If everything like partitioning and everything, storage and performance, everything is going to be taken care by Snowflake, then what is the role of architect? Means how performance tuning developer or anybody who's using will do.
That's what. No need to worry about the performance tuning here. Automatically it will take care. In traditional databases we required, but here no need to worry about that. It will take care. Only
So,
the thing is how good we are utilizing the Snowflake. That's it.
no, no, but there must be some loads. Na. Suppose my load is taking 30 minutes in Snowflake and I want to reduce the elapsed time, then I will not be able to do anything.
So in that particular case, you can increase your virtual warehouse capacity. That's it. Only the thing is here your virtual warehouse is there, right? Your virtual warehouse, how many servers you have given extra small. If you increase that, what will happen? If you increase your RAM size in your laptop, what will happen? Performance will be increased, right? The same way
Hmm.
we have this option. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Dinesh,
Yes.
Mohan here. So I have like doubt. I think asked a couple of times yesterday as well, but still I'm not clear. Can
Tell
you
me.
open the documentation page? So my question is, um, if we submit a bunch of queries, or maybe for the first query itself, if it is a query is large enough to um, like for a single cluster in a data warehouse, can it be like share the data and compute in from other cluster as well in the same warehouse? So that is
Correct.
my question. So, but
Yes, it will compute in the same. Okay,
yeah,
finish it.
but if you see the documentation page, let me see the page I have opened that overview of warehouses. If you open the documentation, overview of warehouses.
Okay.
You can always size the warehouse provision. That query processing and concurrency in the same page. You have a query
This one.
processing and concurrency. Yep,
Mm,
yep.
mm.
So, or let me just
This is what
scroll.
we are discussing. The number of queries in the virtual warehouse can be concurrently processed, determined by the size of complexity of
And
each
yeah.
query.
So here, if you
Mm,
the last statement, if the warehouse does not have enough remaining resources to process a query, the query is queued pending resources that becomes available as other running queries complete. So in that case, it can actually launch one more cluster and whatever the available resources in the current cluster,
mm,
it can launch those many jobs in that. I mean, basically it'll create a small jobs
mm,
across the clusters and then process it, right? So by the
mm,
time the cluster is the next cluster is available, it
mm.
can launch the jobs with the whatever the remaining resources available
With
in
the
the current
yes.
cluster, and then it can launch the other or parallel containers or whatever the small tasks. It can launch
Mm.
into another cluster, right, in the same warehouse.
In the same
Why?
warehouse, it will
Yeah.
launch.
Why is
Correct.
it waiting for the queries to be
Yeah.
completed? Or
I will tell. So what is the statement they have given? If the warehouse does not have enough remaining resources to process
Mhm.
a query, it means, for example, in that particular virtual warehouse, let's assume we have 5 clusters. Okay.
Okay.
All 5 clusters are utilized. All are
Mhm.
like fulfilled. Then they don't have any other virtual warehouses. It means, sorry, other resources, nothing but a clusters to
Mhm.
process the query. Then what it will do? It will wait for, it will be in a queue to,
Correct.
so pending resources to become available. And it
Mhm.
means already one cluster, it is assigned to one job, that
Mhm.
until that completes, it won't pick another one, right? And then if I try to pick another remaining 5, remaining like a 4, it's also
Mhm.
already occupied. It has to, anyone has to finish, whichever is finished, it will go and then pick. For example, let's assume we are 5 members. All
Mhm.
5 members are occupied with different works. So
Mhm.
once I finished my work, then only I can pick the another work, right? We are all
Yeah.
working under a team. Clear, right? That is a statement here.
Yeah, correct. And by this one, I got another doubt here. So, in that case,
Mm,
let's say you have five cluster
mm,
warehouse, which is like
mm,
scale out
mm,
in this case.
mm.
We'll scale
Okay.
out all the 5 clusters, so like the maximum
Mm,
clusters running,
correct. Up to the
because we
maximum it will
submitted
go.
maybe, yeah, we
Mm,
submitted maybe a 10 jobs.
mm,
um, in the last cluster, maybe a sixth job
mm,
was six from
mm,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs.
mm,
These 5 jobs or 4 jobs are waiting, like in
mhm,
the queued state.
mhm,
Um, if the sixth query
mm,
requires maybe certain amount of memory and CPUs to be processed
mhm,
to process
mhm,
this query,
mm,
but we don't have like those many resources available, but only like maybe
mm,
70% of the resources are
mhm,
available. It
mhm,
requires maybe 100, I mean,
mm,
um,
mm, mm,
like 100% resources, but we have
mhm,
remaining only 70% to perform this particular query only, the waiting query.
mhm, mm, mhm,
So
mhm,
in that
mm,
case,
mm,
all the 70% of the resources which are available
mm,
are useless, right? Until all the previous queries, I mean, at least one of the previous queries or 30% of the available resources are freed from the previous queries.
mhm.
The other query should wait for that, right? Why can't it actually submits the job and start processing with the 70% available
And
resources?
it will start processing with the 70% which it is available. And then
Yeah.
once it is like other things it is released, then it will like assign that particular like a resources to this. So but it won't wait if the like a particular cluster is free enough,
Mhm.
like resource is free enough to pick the thing, it will immediately pick and it will start the processing.
But
It
they're
won't
saying here it is queued until the
queued. Yeah,
all
that
the
is fine.
resources.
So that is queued until if nothing like if it is like already occupied, then it will be queued. If nothing is there, then it will be picked.
Okay, not completely clear,
Uh,
but let's say
okay,
we will, I mean,
okay, I
I
will
can
give
tell you
example. For
with the
example, so
numbers maybe.
yeah, you mean to
So
say that. Mm.
we
So for
have
example,
two
mm,
clusters in the warehouse. So
mm,
each cluster has like 100 CPUs and 100
mm,
GB of RAM. So
correct.
both two clusters will have like total 200 CPUs and 200 GB RAM.
Mm, mm,
So we have submitted like three queries at a time,
mm,
and
mm,
first query requires the whole first cluster, and the second
mm,
query requires all the, I mean, only 60% of the second cluster. So which means
mm,
both of these queries occupied 160 CPUs and 160 yeah,
mm, mm,
memory,
mm,
right?
mm,
So
mm,
we have
mm,
remaining like 40 CPUs and 40 GB of RAM.
mm, mm,
Our
mm,
third query requires 80 CPUs and 80 GB RAM, suppose.
mm, mm, mm,
So in this
mm,
case, whether the
mm,
third query will be in queue
mm,
or it'll
mm,
be started whatever the available resources, which means like
mm.
40 CPUs and
No,
40
no, no.
GB memory.
So so this is related to clusters, right? So already these clusters, so already it is occupied. So with the two jobs, right?
Correct.
So
But
whatever the
still we
left
have,
out,
yeah,
mm,
left out resources are there, right?
left out thing, so it won't pick it because the cluster is not available. Let it complete the things and then it will assign.
Yeah, in that case,
Mm,
until these two queries are completed, these
anyone.
40% or
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
in any of that. I mean,
yeah, any
until
of that.
we require we get the resources like 80 CPUs and 80 GB memory
Mm,
of RAM to
mm, mm,
process the third one. Until that
mm,
that finishes or at least are available, it has to
mm.
wait, right? So in
Yes, it
that
will wait.
case, let's say it both queries take at least half an hour to complete them and complete
Mm,
the
mm,
current process. So
mm,
these 40% of the cluster, which means like 40 CPUs and 40 memory, are
mm, mm,
useless, right? Until the other resources are gets freed. So
mm, mm,
which means
mm.
it is useless that half an hour we have to pay for the resources only because
No, no.
cluster
So
is
there is
already up and running.
already up and running. It is utilizing the when the cluster it is
60%
picked,
only,
it
60%
is
only.
going to utilize like it will try to utilize all the things. There is no concept. Yeah, I understand your the thing, but there is no concept of utilizing within one cluster like left out resources. We cannot use it for another one. That is not possible. That mechanism is not here.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So then here a small
We have to wait. Correct.
yeah.
I got it.
So we have to pay what we are not using yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Maybe
Good
we
one.
can expect something improvement
We'll
in
see.
maybe next.
Yes. 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 Okay. Is there any other questions? Please ask. Is that to upload the recording class immediately after the session? Sure, Rakesh. So please so text him personally, and then he will do that. Okay. Because I don't have control on the videos. Otherwise, I can able to do that. Okay. Please ask them. Don't worry about that. Yeah. They will take care of that. Okay, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Dinesh. For
Yes.
the preview also,
Mm.
it uses the warehouse, right?
No, no. Preview it won't use virtual warehouse. Preview it is first 100 records that will from a cloud services layer. It from a
Okay,
metadata.
okay. Yeah, because I see just before
Mm, mm, mm.
you ran the some
Correct.
with the
Preview.
where class, right? When you
Mm, mm.
started preview, I could see that data warehouse has started like with the green dot on it.
It won't take much. It is
Okay.
not required. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.